I guess it helps when I hit add to stream, doesn't it? Of course, as usual, JJ is late and fucking up the whole flow of everything. So, in the meantime, welcome to Consider This Hit. I am your host, Coltrane, along with my right hand lady sitting across from me here in the AZ, Shelly. All the way out there in New York City. As I always say, if you can make it there, then good for you. It's a notoriously hard place to do so. Loco, what's going on?
Same thing. I wish I had something exciting to say here, but
It ain't got to be exciting. You just got to be.
no, I'm just wondering why, there must be love in the air around here because, like, why am I walking my dog down the street and there's, like, used condoms on the ground everywhere?
Ugh.
That's what's going on here.
It's called New York City.
It's called nasty. Keep it to yourselves. And it's kind of everywhere, not just one certain block or area. I mean, we nasty.
Yeah, y'all gross. I remember seeing rats the size of cats out there. And they zoom into the sewer so fast. There's JJ. Shit.
Here I am.
Hey.
Late as usual.
I wasn't that late.
Late enough. Missed the intro and every damn thing.
I did something I shouldn't have did while we were on the break.
I knew you did. Looks hazy up in there.
No, I searched the area around my house for sex offenders on the sex offender list. And it came back with a lot of red dots. I was like, son of
around your
a
house.
bitch. Yes.
Many people went to high school with, because I bet you I'll find 10 of those every damn time. Today we are going to talk a little bit more about the shit that we talked about on. I need to watch my language. Monetize, young man. We're going to talk about some of the stuff we talked about on the other show, which is the hell's wrong with Florida.
Sorry.
And we are also going to have, as usual, Lowe's Lowdown. And later on, we're going to have a segment with JJ and possibly a few other people. It's going to be called Ask JJ, which I stole a bunch of Dear Abby deals from years and years of whatever. So we're going to see with JJ and possibly the rest of the crew what kind of advice we have for some of these ne'er-do-wells.
Gonna see how quick I think on my feet, I guess.
I guess so, especially when you got the ganja all up in you.
Interesting.
We'll also be talking about the difference between the 90s and now, like the shit we used to get away with. We're the last of the creative bunch. We're the originality outlaws because we're the last generation that actually didn't have computers and, the internet and all that shit, and then came into it. And then after Lowe's Lowdown, we do have a special guest. He is who we try to introduce on Podbean, but Podbean is a piece of shit because they don't fix the problems they need to fix right away, but they sure collect that check right away, don't you? Mm-hmm. So anyway, Kenny Bolin, who is the host of the Bowling Alley, he was OVW manager, managed John Cena among others. So we'll have him on here for some of his opinions, and he is very entertaining, trust me. Just look up the Bowling Alley and watch his program, and I guarantee you'll be entertained. But quicker than usual, we are going to go to Low, and let me see if we got some music for you this time, because I sure the hell forgot to load something. So here we are with Low's Lowdown.
That sucks because we're at their mercy so much. So we kind of were in that in-between stage of like technology, no technology. And I mean, I remember taking I think it was like a 2-week class for $99 in Manhattan somewhere just to learn the basics of a computer.
Wasn't it DAWs back at the time? We didn't have Windows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. It was DOS.
Yeah, you had to have like 13 commands just to make your cursor move or whatever.
It was complicated. You had all those Control Alt Delete things. That's where it came from. F1. You actually use those F numbers on top. Remember F1, F2, function 1, 2, 3. I'm like, you had to memorize 1 through 12 or something like that. I'm like, I don't know which one does which.
Macros.
It was nuts. We got screwed.
I'll tell you what, as we talk across the generations, let's bring in our guest. He is the host of the Bolin Alley. It is Kenny Bolin. How's it going, Kenny?
Well, it's Kenny the Starmaker Bolin, being as I've been sitting backstage at Podbean waiting for a damn hour to get on your show.
I'm telling you what.
And then you bring me over here to StreamYard, where I'm very comfortable with, because this is where we do the Bolin Alley and the Starmaker Bolin show. And I'm still sitting backstage for 15 or 20 minutes. So I'm glad you were so thrilled to have me on today that you kept me in the waiting room for 90 goddamn minutes.
Oh.
Kenny Bolin, everybody.
Welcome. Welcome. Yeah.
So tell us what's going down in Louisville right now. We know you had some
people
incidents.
getting shot and killed, people getting murdered at banks, people getting murdered at colleges, people getting murdered at the federal building. People getting murdered all over the goddamn place because people think that weapons of war, weapons of mass destruction are the things to have these days. And if you're a little bony ass chicken shit like a Kid Rock or who's that other little shitbag that supports Trump? I'm trying to think of his name.
Tritt?
Travis Tritt.
No, not him. It's the one. He's kind of like Kid Rock. He was big in the 70s. Hadn't done jack shit since.
Oh,
then.
Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, he's an asshat.
Yeah, I went off on both of them on Twitter today, and some of their fans were giving me some shit. I think I had about 70% support, 30% non-support. But no, if you think you can't get through life without an AR-15, MR, whatever the fuck they call these things. I heard you talk about monetize. On the Bolin Alley, we use whatever language we want. What's it like over here? And I'll try and respect the show.
Oh, well, hey, you know what?
I'm a little late doing that.
I'm going to tell you what, we counted when I did the last live show we did, when I went back to edit, I counted in the first hour 63 fucks.
Oh, there you go. Well,
55 of which were from me.
That's
so you speak fucking openly. Go ahead.
Do me a favor, Coltrane, and bring me a widescreen so I can show off the crown and the briefcase that I used to use and wear during my wrestling days. You can give me the widescreen version there if you can. There you go. Well, I guess I get the whole screen there for a second. As you can tell, I was watching a little baseball in the background. USFL's having empty Coliseum matches down in Memphis. Ain't nobody at these damn games. I don't know how they're making any money. They said somebody named Steve Young made $2.4 million to work for the Los Angeles version of the USFL team. There's nobody at these damn games, so I don't know where the money's coming from. I guess the networks are paying way more because I don't think anyone's watching them. No one's going. Tickets are $10, and they can't get 75 people at most of these games.
Good Lord.
Damn.
At least paid attendance anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to show the crown and the briefcase. That briefcase has hit a lot of famous people. If you're familiar with wrestling, I guess they're famous people. I haven't hit Trump with it yet, but that's on my list of shit.
Well, Lo is a fellow wrestling fan. She's out there.
Oh yeah,
New York City.
Oh,
I went to a lot of live shows.
Well, I have an answer, being as to show you I was actually listening to the show while I've been backstage for the last 90 minutes. All those condoms you were finding around New York City, it's one of two things. Either there's a lot of people fucking in New York close to your area, or Kenny Bolin's been to town and he was a bit careless. So should have cleaned up after myself. But God,
you should have. I will appreciate it.
Pick up after yourself, man.
Pick up after yourself. I knew I was leaving. I didn't give a shit.
Well, you are a stud because they're everywhere, honey.
Well, I tell you what, when I come to New York, I'm a busy man. At least I didn't get ran out in 5 minutes like Marjorie Taylor Greene did the other day.
That was awesome.
She didn't stay.
Did you see that, JJ?
What's that?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Now, I saw a princess down here, Princess JJ was down here looking up sex offenders. Did Marjorie Taylor Greene come up, or Matt Gaetz, or Donald Trump, or little Bobo the ho-ho? You know, we got little Bobo out there in Colorado.
No, not in my area. If I'd have done a wider search, I'm sure I would have got a lot more.
Probably would have pulled up a few names. Little Bobo the ho-ho from Colorado.
We actually did a show about her about, what was it, 2 months ago? Yeah. Where we were talking about the whole Stan Lane thing.
As a matter of fact, her kid didn't show up for court the other day. He was in a car wreck that hurt somebody, and that somebody is suing the Bobo family. Oh, the kid didn't show up for court. He's like 17, got some little 15, 16-year-old girl pregnant. Yeah. And then this is the little Christian shit who's always preaching the word of God, unless it applies to her family. Or so, her husband was arrested for exposing himself, I think, at a not my bowling alley, but someone else's bowling alley. Normally, if they're projecting, they're committing the crimes. Just like if they're projecting, just hang around because they're going to be arrested for it sooner or later.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the homophobes. You know, the people that I graduated high school with that were the manliest.
Oh, yeah.
Homophobes. Man, I saw one that had a pearl necklace.
79. When did you graduate?
I graduated in 96.
96, yeah. So I got a few on you.
Yep.
I heard you talk about not having these computers and everything. Be 63 years old. And the only reason I have a computer is because in 2007, this company called Who Slamming Who wanted me to start doing their podcast. And I didn't have a computer. And then there was another Wildlife Radio or something. They wanted me to do podcasts. And they said, well, we'll send you a free computer if you'll do the podcast. So I had to learn on the fly and whatever my son could do. I still don't know shit. I can cut, copy, and paste and then get on I can get on everything but Podbean. Podbean is the only podcast I haven't been able to do. And we used to broadcast on Podbean back in the early days. We used to do our audio versions there too.
Really?
And I couldn't get in there for shit. And I'm not totally a dumbass when it comes to the computer, but I couldn't get in.
Other people have said that too. And
you all sounded fine though. Y'all sounded good. I just couldn't join you.
That.
Thank you. And who is Shelly the mime here? She hasn't said a word since the show started.
This is Mrs. Coltrane over there.
Mrs. Coltrane. Well, that's why she doesn't say anything. She's scared you're going to bitch slap her. We don't do that on this show, do we? We don't have none of that. We're not a bunch of Republicans over here. We don't do that.
No.
Dana White slapped his wife and has suffered no repercussions for it. Dana White, the head of the UFC, he slapped his wife in public. It was videoed. I haven't seen it. I've heard
what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got to check this out.
And she apologized for him. That's how you do it if you're a Republican. Slap your wife. Oh, we were drunk. Think that he's a good man. The things just got out of hand. We were drunk. I hit him first. All right, I've been hit by a few women too, but worst case, when you're a lot bigger than they are, hold them, try to calm them down. And if that don't work, get someone else involved. But I don't care who the fuck you are. You do not strike a woman. Right. And Dana White's a pretty big guy.
Oh, yeah.
He had to hit his wife. And now did you see the video? Because I did not.
I did not see it either.
I didn't see it.
It looked like they were kind of wrestling around, and he popped the shit out of her. It was right in the face.
Jesus Christ! Oh, he's a big tough guy.
It was like an open hand chop. It was hard.
Well, anybody that associates with Trump and Vince McMahon is probably a womanizing piece of shit to begin with, and I got no.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think about?
I was talking about Colorado. Now, you're not out in Colorado, are you?
No, we were in Arizona. JJ's in Nebraska, and we got New York City over there.
Yeah, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. First man is I've pinned Jim Cornette so goddamn many times, probably a couple of hundred. I just read what you had there. Yeah, I've beaten him a lot. He was a piece of cake. He's a piece of cake. When you're not a man. Well, that lip's what got him pinned about 200 times, right? If you got an alligator mouth and a hummingbird rear end, it's best to shut the fuck up.
Who's that walking back there? Is that Scooby?
Oh, I think Scooby kind of speaks for himself. Come here, Scooby. Come here. He was on the warm up for like 20 minutes sitting up here. Come here.
Got bored, huh?
He's like, I was bored. Yeah,
taking too damn long.
I've already been on the show for a damn hour. Yeah, he thought he was on. He was talking and everything. He's a talking dog.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on.
We got Scooby and we have Choco. She's the little pit mix, and we have Tucal the Labrador.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures of Tucal.
Scooby. I got a pit mix too.
Oh, do you? Yeah, Scooby is 3. Choco just turned 10 on March 16th, same day as me and my son. And Tucal, strangely enough, has Cornette's birthday on September 17th. So just so he wouldn't be associated with that shitbag, we changed his birthday. We had to go down to the courthouse and legally have his birth certificate changed to September 16th. I'm getting my shit in, being as I missed the first hour and a half.
There you go. Get it all in, all that you want. You were talking about the book bans.
Yeah.
Well,
don't hang on a minute. Just while we're talking about book bans, I think I got some shit jammed in it. Don't ban this one. My book, I probably screwed you too. The Ron DeSantis story, because I will fuck him up if I ever see him in person.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, I probably don't ban that one. There's a lot of horrible stories in there. Some of them are true. And so we don't want to ban that book. So what are they trying? I heard you all mentioning about some of the ones they're trying to ban. Anything to do with Rosa Parks, obviously.
Yes.
Anything to do with goddamn the baseball
Roberto Clemente,
who
Jackie Robinson
died in a plane crash. Jackie Robinson, first ever African American baseball player.
Yep.
Yeah, let's ban books about these people.
Right.
Stories of being young and black in America.
Yeah, something about it. Well, let's act like it never happened. Why don't we do that? Just act like it never happened.
Here's a real funny book.
We didn't tie them to trees, and we just watch Roots. And if you don't hate white people, I'm disappointed to be associated with white people.
I've watched it several
times. I was
times.
accused of being a racist at a wrestling show once. They said, Bolin's a racist. I said, tell you what, I'll address that next week. I got in the ring, walked around, talked to the crowd. I said, you're right, you stupid fucks. I am a racist. And I'll admit it right here today. You know what? I hate stupid fucking white people. So yeah, I'm a racist.
Exactly.
Princess, you agree with that? You hate stupid fucking white people? Because I do.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And it seems like it's spreading.
Pick any Republican politician, and the way I see it is, if you stand by racist and you won't speak up against them, then you're just as fucking bad as they are.
Exactly.
That's right.
We're gonna break that 64.
That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna break that 64 fuck today. We're gonna break it.
Okay, let's do that.
Monetize my ass. We're also gonna get Shell to say something before the show's over. I don't know how, but we're gonna do it.
I'm over here.
He won't hit you while I'm here. Don't you worry about him. Don't you worry about him at all.
Just throw spitballs at you.
There you go.
This is a book called "This Book is Anti-Racist."
Oh, I'm sure it is. Go ahead. You've already
20
told me
lessons
enough.
on how to wake up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just a bunch of the Jim Thorpe story. I mean, there's just a common theme. Homosexuality too, especially trans. Let's see, what was that?
Oh God.
Yeah, they don't even want to make those people considered humans anymore. If they can
No, the names they call them.
The reason I can speak so educatedly about this is because my biological father was the leader, the Grand Poobah, the Grand Wizard, if you want to call him, of the KKK in Norfolk, Virginia. Now, I didn't live with him or associate with him much, and when I found out all that shit in 1979, that was a bit of a problem.
Wow.
He even told me that the KKK was done away with in Norfolk, so they formed the Freemasons. So anytime you meet anybody in the Freemasons, let that be a red flag for you. And I do know some that try, oh, no, we're not racist. And he told me himself how they got around the loophole was they would have a black man run the door and pay him well to keep his mouth shut about what he saw or what was going on. And that was the well, you can't call us racist. The doorman's black. Can't. And that was straight out of my biological father, who was the leader of the KKK in Norfolk, Virginia. My mother married another guy who also, it was like he had a very dear friend named Les Johnson that worked at a company called Southern States with him. And I thought it was weird when I'm 7, 8, 10 years old, 12 years old. Les lived down the street from us, about 3 or 4 houses. But Les and his lovely wife never came to see us, and we never went to see them. They just worked together in passing. But no, well, we can't be seen going into their house, and they can't be seen coming into ours. And that's the shit that I was raised in. So right about age 11 or 12, I'm thinking, this is a crock of shit. And if anybody other than a white person moved in the neighborhood, the property value is going to go down. Hey, we're the poorest motherfuckers on the street. They can only help our property value. So whoever comes in is only going to help us. So shut up. But I never understood how people would judge people by the color of their skin, the way they speak, the way they wear their hair, the type of clothes they wear. I was always fascinated by people that were different.
Yeah.
My first girlfriends when I was 15 or 16, because they were forbidden, you weren't allowed to date such people. My very first ever little girlfriend was Asian. Then I think 3 or 4 girlfriends after that were black. I can't tell you the last white woman I dated. Well, I can, but I got out of those situations. No, white women have no use for me, and okay, vice versa. But my show is known not to have any white women watch it. So, hey, if you two want to join, come on over.
Absolutely. Yeah, his show is really entertaining. And, one of the things, the very first thing I remember.
Shadow ban like a bitch, too, because we talk a lot of shit people don't want to talk about. But
I know it's the Trump fans come out in droves whenever you talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
The favorite show that you were on, I think it was Cornette's, though, when you were talking about
we did a lot of good shows because we interacted extremely well.
You interacted really well.
I'll tell you, those shows were good. Yeah.
Yeah. But the deer being the most dangerous animal in the world. Do you remember that?
It is. No doubt. No doubt. Arm the deer. Arm the deer. Fucking
arm the deer.
Hunters will be a lot less fucking brave when deers have antlers loaded with ammunition as well.
And they can shoot back.
And when you hear about deer running out into the street, they're just trying to take out 10, 15 white people in a goddamn it's a suicide bombing. It's the deer's version of a suicide bombing. They run into the middle of the street. Yeah, we lost Buck. We lost Buck. But we got 15 fucking white people that were going hunting to kill the rest of us. So
that's great.
It's a version of a suicide bombing. And let me see these fucking hunters when they go out into the woods, and then all of a sudden the deer's got his antlers lined up shooting bullets at his ass. Let's see how fucking brave he is then. And then I also, on that very same show, thought it was a joke, but now Republicans are on board with it because Jimmy called me before the show. He says, we're going to talk about gun control. And he said, what side do you want? You pro-gun or anti-gun? I said, I don't know. What side do you want? I said, I know what I feel. I said, what do you? I tell you what, I'll be anti-gun. I said, well, good, I'll be pro-gun. So knowing that is not how I feel, but I had 3 minutes notice to do this.
Right.
So that's when we talked about arm the deer. Shit's going to change. They're the most dangerous. And they'll just take their antlers and fucking kill you if you fuck with them. If you put 25 rounds in them before they can get to you, you're fucked. That's why they kill so many white guys. Name me the last black guy got killed by a deer. He fucking knew better. He knew better. So,
did you hear that rustle? You gone.
Fucking racist Republican white fucks that get killed by deer. So good.
Fucking knock it off. What the hell?
Who are you talking to?
She talking to me?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, my dog is under the desk and he keeps knocking it and my phone keeps falling over. I thought I was muted. Sorry.
No, you were not. I thought you were telling me.
No.
So then we start talking about school shootings because that was getting to be a thing back then. That was after Columbine and all that.
Yeah.
And Jimmy says, well, what about school shootings and everything? What about? I said, well, arm the children. Well, what? Yeah, every goddamn kid's got at least a 6-shooter. Maybe something like Rufus McCain has got, cock that motherfucker, put 11 rounds in somebody. It shot 11 rounds. I looked it up. But no, arm the children. He said, well, don't you think somebody would get killed? I said, fuck yeah, somebody's going to get killed.
That's the point.
He says, well, what about crossfire? I said, casualties, man, casualties. All right, you got 36 kids, all of them fucking armed. Shooter sticks his fucking head in the door. Bang, 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 bang. They're shooting the shit out of that mother. Yeah, we're going to lose 2 or 3. We're going to lose Timmy. We're going to lose little Peter might get winged.
But it's for the greater good, isn't it?
We're going to lose 3 or 4, but we ain't going to lose all 36. The next class is at 40. No, that shit ends there. Arm the fucking children. So I'm preaching this like I really believe it. Now we got Republicans wanting to arm the teachers.
Oh my God!
Ain't got fucking enough to worry about. Tennessee, these dumb fucks in Tennessee. I was married in Tennessee. I was divorced in Georgia. My son was born in Nashville. What a bunch of stupid fucks. No wonder I had to get the fuck out of there. Or some fucks for you. Add that to the count. So, no, don't arm the goddamn teacher. Oh, and Ted Cruz, that stupid fuck down in Texas.
Oh, God.
He wants more policemen and more guards at the door. Maybe less entries. Let's only have one door. Yeah, let's let the fucking school catch fire and everybody's got to get out one goddamn door. You stupid bearded fuck who's scared of the cold and went to Cancun or something when it got cold in Texas. You shitbag fuck. See, I got another one in.
There you go.
There you go.
A passion.
Now, how much shit do you think he went through if he became president, being a Cuban from Canada? Would it have been the same as Barack?
I don't get it, man. DeSantis. I don't think DeSantis, if you go back in his roots, I don't think that labels out to be natural born American citizen. Does it to you? The name DeSantis tells me he came from fucking somewhere else. Mm-hmm. The relatives that came over here and we all, for the most part, came from somewhere. I've been watching John. Well, I haven't watched it yet. I saw the trailer for it. John Leguizamo has a thing coming up talking about how important the Italian race is to America and what they've done for America, what black folks have done for America. That this country was built basically by black folks. I mean, you take blacks and Italians and Jews out of the equation, and a lot of shit didn't happen. And why any Jew. And for those blacks out there that support Republicans, I don't fucking get it. Why any Jew, any black, any Italian, any minority, any Mexican would support a Republican, because unless they can find a way to get some use out of you, this George Santos guy from Brazil who's gay, what do Republicans hate worse than a Brazilian gay guy?
Right.
Well, we gotta have one. We gotta have one. So no, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, you can say what you want about the Democratic Party and maybe they haven't done enough. Well, I tell you what, if we put 60% of the Congress and 60% of the Senate as Democrats, a lot of fucking shit to get done. Basically, who gives a fuck who the president is? Those are the assholes that control everything. You see Biden right now, he has good intentions. He would like to do a lot more. I wish he'd jammed the courts and at least made it 6-6. Republican, Democrat, and I think there ought to be 13. One independent that both sides agree on. Otherwise, the motherfucker don't get in. Republicans got to put him in. Democrats got to agree to him. One independent, he's your tiebreaker in case everybody sticks to party lines, and that ought to be your Supreme Court. And Judge Thomas, judge my ass, crooked ass motherfucker.
Get him out.
Get him the fuck out.
Get him the fuck out.
If
Absolutely.
any of us had done a tiny fraction of that's right. I agree. Anything like that, we'd be in fucking prison right now, and it wouldn't take long to get us there. Right. And Trump, I've done nothing wrong. I'm an innocent man. I'm person shit. He's been committing crimes his whole life. 12 sexual assaults that are going to trial over the next 18 months. He's got the rape trial starting in 3 weeks. He ain't.
But he's done nothing wrong.
No, I ain't done anything wrong. I just fucked women that didn't want to be fucked. What's wrong with that?
Right.
Exactly.
See, y'all let me wait 90 minutes. I'm charged up now, son. I got my battery going.
Did you see a video that was uncovered about it was Trump and God, what is that turkey neck some bitch's name? Giuliani. When they were dressed in drag.
Christ. Turkey neck Giuliani.
No.
Whose head melts when he does press conferences in front of
that was too much.
There was a skit of them doing
What's
drag.
He dying? I mean, he's got nothing. Just shave this shit and move on.
Exactly.
What is he doing?
It's time.
That one I never got. So turkey neck. What was the recording? What did you hear?
It was him and Trump that were doing. It was a drag show, or not a show. It was a skit, and Giuliani was the woman, and Trump was saying how beautiful she was and like kissing all.
Was
down
it a Saturday Night Live thing, or where was that?
No, it was actually them.
Oh.
No, I mean Trump was
I didn't see this.
Trump was on Saturday Night Live and did a lot of goofy shit. So
that might have been it.
I was wondering if it was on that, but I don't remember
I
Giuliani
just saw
being
a clip.
involved.
I think it was on Instagram, so I just happened to see it.
But, I'll be happy to take a look at the link. But no, they want to. And the abortion stuff. So tell me if you agree with this. We have 3 women here. Tell me this. Why should any man, especially an old white man, have any fucking say whatsoever what goes on with a woman's body and her pregnancy?
He should not.
Why is it not
you see this right here? This is what I have to say to them all.
Why isn't it a panel of 12 elected women that were elected nationwide, just like the Supreme Court, that if you want rules for women, at least let the country vote in 12 women to represent them and and keep men the fuck out of it. I ain't got no business telling you what to do. No, if there's a lady over here if there's a lady over here next door that's 8 months pregnant and they're going to legally let her abort it, yeah, I personally would have a problem with it, but it ain't none of my goddamn business. And for a woman to be raped, that 10-year-old that got raped,
yes,
16-year-old
remember that story? That was pathetic.
Shut your mouth, bitch, and have the kid. And yeah, you might die. Yeah, you're going to be burdened for the rest of your life. No, we're not going to give you any financial help because that's what Republicans do. Oh yeah, we ain't going to help you once it gets here.
Right?
Yep.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they're pro-birth.
Yep. Pro-birth.
Yep.
Unless they get them pregnant, and boy, look at the line of those Republicans.
Actually, it's more like they're anti-women is what they really are.
Trump, just as guilty as any of them, paying for abortions. And who was our boy down in Atlanta? Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Does he have a track record of how many abortions he paid for?
Yeah, at least 3.
Yeah. And you talk about bringing shame to the black community.
Yes.
To line up with those motherfuckers.
When you notice they always had McConnell and Cruz like they were his handlers. They were always on both sides.
When you got when you got a blithering idiot who's got brain damage, you can't talk, you get somebody to talk for him.
That's right.
That's exactly what they did. It's exactly what they did.
Like the puppet,
Yeah,
they did it a little too late. But
I watched Herschel play his whole career. He played for Trump in the USFL back in the early 80s. And it seemed like a nice enough guy. But when you dig into his history of abusing women, pulling a gun on a woman, forcing them to get abortions, and then he stands up and says he's pro-life, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Him, any white guy like him, any Jewish guy like him, any fucking human being like him, fuck them all. Is my opinion. Yep. We're going to break the record. I want to count.
I'll definitely let you know.
Fuck, fucking fuck.
There we go.
63 in 1 hour.
Yeah.
63 fucks. I didn't even know I had that many fucks to give.
Well, we're giving them today. Now, where you know what? I have that same background. Is that the StreamYard background? Because I've used that one before. Yeah. That Shell's using. Yeah, I've used that one before. Yeah, everybody wanted to know where I got my piano. I told them Liberace gave it to me. gave me the sofa too.
Super oblong because it keeps blacking out in this area.
A little bit, yeah.
They look like you're disappearing.
I use green screens from time to time, but when you're wearing neon, it doesn't go so well.
Right.
I agree. Scooby doesn't believe in abortion either, right?
Right on, Scoobs.
He's in the window, probably wanting to abort a squirrel right now.
Yeah, my dog does that too.
He actually plays with the squirrels. I've got 4 squirrels here: Biff, Bartholomew, Brianna, named after Breonna Taylor. Biff, Bartholomew, Brianna, and Buford. And my
gotta have a Buford.
I gotta have Buford. And I've been feeding them for 7 years. They come to my window every day.
What?
Yeah, wow. There's a cottage cheese container over there full of peanuts, the shell kind. And every day I line the peanuts up in the windows. And even though I'm the one that feeds them and they know it, they're a little hesitant if I'm in the window. If all 3 dogs are in the window barking, they don't give a shit.
That's like a Family Guy.
I didn't know squirrels could flip the bird, but I've seen them do it. Fuck you, dogs. You're eating peanuts. You ain't gonna do shit. And I've seen them go outside, and Scooby will gently chase after the squirrel. I've seen the squirrel chase after Scooby. They just run to the squirrel. They're buddies. They just love to play. But if I'm in the window, if I'm perfectly still, they'll come in. They've actually come in the house when my son lived upstairs. They'd come in the house and eat on the bed and then go back out. They were they were the ones that started feeding them. Now I got a neighbor that lives where my son lived. He said, "What's with all these goddamn squirrels trying to come in my house?" That's not on us. He said, "I see you out here feeding them all the time. They think I should be feeding them." I said, "And you should give them some fucking food.
Just put some food out there.
They don't have jobs and they don't work in restaurants. Give them some fucking food." Here's what they like: apples, peanuts, leafy green vegetables, carrots. So he says he's not a squirrel fan. He's not a squirrel fan.
I'm not the biggest squirrel fan myself.
I haven't seen a squirrel.
Well, you're also not a fan of condoms laying on the street either.
No. Maybe it's the squirrels leaving them there.
We all have our picadillos, don't we?
Forgive me for being offended by a used condom in the street. I know.
Yeah, we get those lizards down here where you grab the tail and it detaches.
What part of New York are you in?
I'm in Queens.
Queen. Okay, well, that's where Trump's from, right?
Yeah, but I'm from Astoria. Yeah. He's from, where the hell was he from? Elmhurst or something?
Yeah, because John Leguizamo is also from Queens. He said, but yeah, we were two different parts of Queens.
Yeah.
And he said, and shut the fuck up about him being a self-made millionaire or billionaire. He's neither one. He inherited his dad's money, blew it all. Now he's $1.8 billion in debt, and apparently he's been spending the campaign money, which is illegal, to pay off his attorney's bills, which is campaign finance fraud. So there you go. Bring up another indictment. Let's get him 5 times instead of 4, because they will bring indictments on all 4 charges. I have no doubt about it. If they're going to get him on Stormy Daniels and all the fraud that's going on there, they shut down Trump University for fraud. I mean, goddamn, how many crimes you got to commit before you just have to say I'm a career criminal and you fucking got it.
Exactly.
The over-under was 2.5 indictments on Trump. I say it will be 4 and maybe a 5th with this new campaign finance fraud they've got him on through paying his attorney's fees and witness tampering because of using the wall money and the fake election money. He used that to pay off the attorneys that were representing the people testifying against him and trying to get them to testify to say good shit about him instead of bad.
Shut up.
Crimes in one crime. There's fucking 4 felonies wrapped up in one right there.
Yeah.
So I say it will be 4, possibly a 5th. He could get 5 indictments out of this because now that the first one's gone, well, ain't press. It's not forbidden anymore. It's been done. Well, it didn't have precedence because we never had such a fucking crook, even with a fucking angel compared to this guy. And had Ford not pardoned Nixon, he would have been prosecuted and indicted. But Ford, another fucking Republican, saved it. Well, I did it for the country. I did it. He did it to save another fucking crooked Republican's ass. And here's something else I bet you all may not know. How many people were arrested or indicted in the 8 years of the Obama era? And remember, there's oversight committees, and they're always trying to fucking arrest and indict somebody on the other side. How many in 8 years were arrested or indicted in the Obama era?
I have no idea.
Well, the number would be 0. As much as they tried, they were always trying to lock up Hillary, lock everybody up. Oh, and now they're worried that we actually have a criminal and that we want to lock him up. I like the on-air thing. I need to do that.
Oh, yeah. $20 Amazon.
Right above your damn head, too. I got to get one of those. So no, 0 people in 8 years. Now, I don't know the number of how many people have been arrested, indicted, or pardoned by Trump, but it's got to be in the 20s or 30s, just for him alone. Bush had a shitload that were arrested. I didn't realize Bush had so goddamn many. And now I'm sure the Clinton administration had a few because they went after him from the day he got there. He was there for 8 years. But Obama had 0 indictments, 0 arrests, 0 prosecutions in 8 years, as much as they tried to do it.
Good Lord.
And the worst they had on him was a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a crime, if that's a crime, and they impeached him for that.
Yeah.
Okay, let Hillary worry about that. That's kind of their marital problem.
Jam in her mouth, from what I've heard, it was even though but it was considered a position of power, and for her to keep her job, she might have thought she had to blow Bill Clinton. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never made.
You don't know the whole story of that either, you know.
Well, yeah, we don't, and I guess they're the only two that do. Would be my guess. But I didn't hear her ever press charges against him.
No.
She was in her 20s, I guess, right?
Yeah.
She wasn't 17, 15.
She was of age.
And
she was a college intern or something.
Their Anonymous released something here a few years ago that my daughter-in-law screen captured off Twitter. Apparently, Anonymous dropped 12 court cases to where Trump settled out of court for sexual assault on children ages 15 and under, boys and girls.
Oh,
come on.
Okay,
That
maybe one
doesn't surprise me.
for money, maybe two. I don't think 12 do. It's just like
12.
Yeah, 12. And Anonymous released it, and Twitter took it down because it was settled out of court. The agreement was, you don't bring this up. Here's your money. Shut the fuck up. This never happened. This is the agreement. We'll pay you to shut up. Just like he tried with Stormy, just like he tried with Karen McDougal, just like he did with the doorman who knew that he knocked up a maid. Doorman only got 30 grand, though. Doorman had some pretty good info. He should have got 100 grand.
Yeah, I was about to
Right?
say,
He should have held out for way more.
Doorman got fucked, and not in a good way.
no Vaseline.
Nope.
None.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to go to a segment. I think you'll be entertained by this. A lot of them are Floridians, and we're going to go to Shelley for Darwin's Darlings.
All right, let's do that.
All right. Vatican drug orgy broken up by cops. A priest at the Vatican was caught by police in a big gay drug orgy. Neighbors were sick of the noise and the steady stream of young men visiting Monsieur. I don't know how to pronounce his
Some
name.
priest.
His name has to be Mansour.
Yeah. Bonsoir.
Part of it. Savoir faire is everywhere.
Yep. So they called the police. Members of the Swiss Guard, the Vatican's police force, arrived at the scene mid-orgy, where they found a group of nude men rolling around.
That's when you want to get there, right? In the middle.
Right, the good part.
Womp womp.
So gay sex isn't illegal in the Vatican City. Drugs are, and so he was arrested.
For the drugs, not
Wait a minute. What was illegal and what wasn't?
The
They're coming to get him now. You hear the sirens? They're arresting him. Yeah, he's over there. He's right over there.
Yep.
Just drove by my damn window. It's a meat wagon now.
Gay sex was not illegal,
So
but
gay sex was not illegal. Thank God for Republicans on that one.
Yeah.
But the drugs were. So that's what they got.
Drugs were,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
All right, next one.
Okay, shocked woman wakes up to find napping burglar in her guest bedroom. An Ohio woman reported
He was tired. Back off. He was fucking tired.
to discover
Needed a nap.
burglar
Had another house to go to. He was
just resting up. He was napping in her guest bedroom after he had broken in overnight.
He was masturbating, and that's inappropriate. We're not gonna...
They had to swim in her outdoor pool and even ate the family's leftover chicken.
Good Lord.
Before leaving,
They obviously didn't want it, so I have
How long was he in the house before they knew?
Right? How long was he
That's
there for?
insane.
Door was probably left open. Saw an unused bed. Got him a nap. He's got places to go.
Yeah.
Saw some chicken that nobody wanted, so he got him some of that. Like, no, he's all
But
right.
damn.
Dip in the pool.
Yeah, Casey was dirty. Didn't want to use their shower. He don't know them. Perfectly innocent. See, I can defend any Republican. Your Honor, this here crook is innocent of all the charges that have been brought against him.
Before leaving, the creepy napster, even swiped a pair of the son's underwear.
Your Honor, we do not know this man is creepy. Okay, now I think all right, you got me.
Stole her son's drawers, man.
You got me.
Trying to stay
Stole the kid's underwear, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
I was with him until then. Now I can't defend that.
yeah, you can't defend that.
Leave the kid's underwear alone.
Little boy's drawers. Ugh.
Yeah.
Little boy's
right.
drawers.
Let's assume that
Yeah,
the
like that
son
wrong.
was a teen
Was the guy's
and he
name
was a
Ron
big
James?
kid.
I hope so.
What's that, Kenny?
Trump claims he's gay, and also Matt Gaetz. That sounds like something he'd do. So we got to look into that.
If that ain't the rat face looking motherfucker, man, don't he look like a
God.
Johnny Knoxville knockoff?
There's three women here. How much money would it take for any of the three of y'all to fuck Matt Gaetz? There we go. There is no amount of money that would be appropriate to do that.
You see all the faces, just
oh my God, Matt Ratface Gates. That's the best nickname he's got yet. Matt Ratface Gates.
It is.
But Marjorie with those dime-sized eyes. I mean, there seems to be a correlation between small eyes and
tiny brains.
Intelligence.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, the problem with that Josh Hawley too. That's another one that
chicken shit bitch running like a coward after out there giving out the big pyre sign and solidarity, excuse me, to all the protesters. And then when the protesters are coming for his bony white ass, he takes off running like a goddamn. I tell you what, if I ever decide to go to Congress and whip everybody I don't like, I'm going to be I'm going to need a nap. I'm going to have to go get me some goddamn sleep. I ain't worried about any of them whipping me. Matt Gaetz, Josh Hawley, the Pee Wee Herman of Congress. Put a tight suit on him, and he normally does. The day he was running like a little bitch, he had a Pee Wee Herman suit on. I think all of them are Pee Wee Herman. And then I had to apologize to Pee Wee Herman because I tagged him in the Twitter post. I said, "I'm sorry, Pee Wee, you're 10 times the man Josh Hawley is." I insulted Pee Wee Herman, made him less of a man than he really was.
Next, darling.
Bank robber handed teller a note with his name and address on it.
Well, he needed to know where the fucking money had to go. What? The money here, I'll be there.
Why?
Did he? After ordering the teller to hand over cash at the U.S. bank located in Cleveland, using a note that had
Jerry Lawler's hometown, by the way,
address on it.
Oh yeah.
The FBI said it reportedly was written on the back of a document from the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles.
Oh my God!
I'll be waiting on it. He just dumb fuck wrote it on the back of a document that had his address on it.
Yep.
Similar thing. I had a guy that ripped off my car and was trying to steal our bikes, and we caught him. And then we confronted him. The two of my neighbors, my son, myself, confronted him because then he acted like he was wanting to buy the bike, not steal it. And then he's got a big duffel bag with him sitting off to the side. I couldn't see it. It was that window that all this confrontation goes down at that Scooby's at now. He's there because criminals show up at that window from time to time. So he's out there. He's got his duffel bag and a hippie-looking guy. And he says, "Well, how much do you want for the bike?" I said, "Well, it's my son's bike. You'll have to talk to him." I said, "But he said, well, I really need some transportation." I said, "Uh-huh." I said, "Well, how much you offering us for it?" "Well, I don't have any money." I said, "Well, that kind of kills the negotiation, right?" And he said, "But I have this gold chain, and this hairy, nasty-looking fuck is trying to take this gold chain." I said, No, it's all right. That has touched you. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care what it's worth. You fucking keep it. I said, as a matter of fact, if you're that desperate for transportation, my son might give you the fucking bike. He's a charitable guy. Sure enough, my son's coming down the steps. My other neighbor, Chris, lives up above me. They're both coming down, and they see this duffel bag off to the right that I can't see. I said, "I tell you what." I said, "Chris, can he have the bike? He says he needs transport." "Yeah, he can have the goddamn thing." I said, "Buddy," I said, "we've lost the padlock key to this thing a long time ago. If you can cut that chain off, you can have the goddamn bike." Okay. He goes over to his bag. He's got bolt cutters in his bag. So he brings over the bolt cutters, and he brings over the bolt cutters, and he can't cut the chain. He says, "Hang on, I got another pair." What? You got two pair. So he goes over and gets a bigger pair. I said, "Hold up. Our cars were robbed today. And somebody broke into our cars." And I said, "What else you got in the goddamn bag?" So my neighbor walks over there because he's got it wide open. He looks over. He says, "Kenny, there are 3 Saws-offs in this goddamn." I said, "Really?"
Oh my God.
And he says, "You ain't going to believe this shit." He says, "When I saw him, I thought I saw somebody out here running around in a clown mask." He says, "This motherfucker's got a clown mask in the back." I said, shut the fuck up. He ain't got no. And then my son pulls it out of the back. He's got a fucking clown mask. I was about to defend him. He might have all that. He does not have. He's got a clown mask. I said, "Okay, buddy, you got to go."
Creepy ass motherfucker.
So Doink was trying to rob you.
Yeah, Doink, big Doink. Doink had grown up. He was actually a kid. He grew up and didn't know it. Dink. So we're telling him to leave. We're gonna give him a break, and we're telling him to leave. He won't leave. he decides he's going to take on all 4 of us. And I said, okay, motherfucker. I said, I'm coming out there too. Well, you seem to be the reasonable one. I said, until you had all the equipment that robbed us today, I was kind of on your side. Fuck you. I said, no, my son says you got to go. You got to go. He says, motherfucker, you got to go. So he starts gradually backing up when because Christopher's like 6'3", about 280. You know, he's a big boy, black belt and every goddamn thing. He ain't got a fucking chance. So the guy starts backing down a little bit. He finally gets to the sidewalk out the front door at the front yard here. He gets down to the sidewalk. Now he decides he ain't leaving. He's going to stay right there. So now we've called the police. I said, all right, well, you ain't going to leave. We can call the police. So he said, well, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to tell the police I'm innocent. And I said, yeah, I'm anxious for him to see what's in your bag and then keep telling them you're innocent. Do that. He says, you need to shut up, motherfucker. He says, I'll come up here and cut you with a knife and I'm going to rape all the women in that house.
Oh, my God.
I said, oh, okay. I said, well, all right, come on. And Chris is standing there waiting on him. He says, let me tell you something, motherfucker. He says, you come up those steps. He says, I ain't going to do shit to you on the sidewalk as long as you're smart enough to stay there. You come up and you put 1 step in this yard, I'm going to take the fucking knife from you, shove it up your goddamn ass, and it will be up your ass when the police get here. He decides he would rather not have that confrontation, puts the knife back in his pocket. So I said, so are you going to leave or not? I'm waiting on the police. I said, well, good, motherfucker. They'll be here. And he hears the sirens. Now he's decided he's not going to wait. He takes off and he's heading down to the right-hand side of Cherokee Road. Throws his bag, which we didn't know at the time, because we tell the police when they get here, he's got this bag. He's got all the equipment he robbed us with. He said, well, we've got him. He's in the car. And he said, but he doesn't have a bag on him. So Chris and Chris go walking through the yards. 4 houses down, we find his bag in a bunch of weeds in the yard. And I said, he said, hey, we're not going to touch it, but the bag he had's right here. That bag ain't mine. He hadn't even seen the bag. That bag, this is a fucking setup. That goddamn bag ain't mine. Gets the bag, pulls it out, and there's all the equipment, the bolt cutters, the saws-offs, drugs. He had all kinds of fucking drugs in the bag. The clown mask that we told him was in the bag.
Oh, my God.
now he's still swearing to God it ain't him. No, it ain't mine. None of that shit's mine. They pull out, because they already got his name earlier. He gave them his real name. They pull out shipping labels with his fucking name on them. Almost as bad as the goddamn bank robber. So he's screaming, I can't go back to jail. I can't
back.
So
can't go back to jail.
For the record, you guys, I'm a lifelong atheist, probably since age 11. I love to help people. I love to treat people good, but I'm still an atheist. I do not believe in a God. The guy above me is a huge religious guy, big Christian, big loving, sweet guy. And he's praying for the guy as he's screaming he doesn't want to go back to jail. I'm sorry. And he's going over wanting to hug him. I said, fuck him. Don't hug that motherfucker. He tried to rob you. I'll be praying for you. I said, well, you can pray for him all you want, but the motherfucker's going to jail. You can pray all you want. Pray he doesn't get his bond while you're at it. So they turned out they had arrested him like 6 weeks earlier on drug charges. So this motherfucker, if he'd have just left, he would have got by with it, but he hung around, had to be a fucking tough guy, threatened to rape our women. He's going to kill everybody. And last I heard that this happened in last July, and last I heard he's still in jail. So they got
Good.
yeah. So I interrupted a big ass story there, but go ahead.
No, that was
had to tell the clown story.
Better. Okay.
Wow.
I think I've gotten 64 fucks in by myself.
Well, maybe we'll hit 120.
We might. Lolo got in a few, so we're gonna get there.
Oh yeah. She'll get in a few more. I guarantee.
The princess is being good. She's still pissed off about all those goddamn condoms. I don't. And all those sex offenders that are apparently somewhere close by.
Yeah.
Did you find anybody you knew, by the way?
No, nobody I knew. It was just.
Give it time.
But I didn't look in Lincoln. I didn't look in.
That's where you got to look. Our old high school buddies. I've seen a bunch of people in that. No, not.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God, that's gotta be interesting.
Matter of fact, one kid that
high school buddies on the list.
Well, I went to elementary school with this one kid that he was always kind of a cretin, but found out a couple of years ago he raped a 6-year-old.
Oh God.
And he's in federal pound me in the ass prison as we speak.
Let me guess, a Republican cop?
Republican.
Just guessing. Take Republican cops, my guess, for $50. Here we go. But like on Jeopardy, Guess the criminal, guess the crime.
For real. All right.
By the way, I got an admission here on your show tonight. I was a sex offender in high school. I was offended I wasn't getting enough sex. I just made that one up. I'm going to take that one on the road and see what I can get out of it.
I'm right there with you on that one.
Me too.
I'm a racist. I hate stupid fucking white people. I made that one up back in 1996. I did that one at a wrestling show. And today, I'm a sex offender. I'm offended I ain't getting enough sex. I'm surprised Rodney Dangerfield did. Rodney Dangerfield would have loved that joke. He'd have paid
I think so with Bobby Heenan.
Heenan would have loved it too. He's a good
Back
guy.
in the day, we used to say, "I'm not racist. I hate everyone the same."
Oh, I have a wrestling dear friend of mine who is a big deal in Memphis, almost as famous as Jerry Lawler. I can't give his name because this joke is so fucking inappropriate. He's doing stand up in Nashville. I'm going to tell it here. It wasn't me that told the joke. It was a friend of mine who used to feud with Jerry the King Lawler. He's telling the joke. He says, "Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing. There's two fucking sets of people in this country I hate. I hate racist and Mexicans." Can't tell that joke, but he did. And so every time we talk to him on the phone, I said, "So who are the people you hate again?" Racist and. All right. Tell that goddamn joke. Quit telling that.
Sounds like something Nova would have said, huh?
Bet he don't tell it at the southern border often, I'll tell you.
No,
that.
I bet you not.
Well, when I lived in Nashville, I bet you 20% of Nashville was Mexican because everybody from Texas and Mexico were coming to Nashville because it was such a booming town. There was tons of work there. And I bet you 20% of the population. Now, I don't know if they were all residents, lived there permanently or not, but man, you couldn't go anywhere that you didn't see a large Mexican community. And they were responsible for the building of Nashville in the mid 80s, well into the 90s, because it was just a booming community back then. I don't know what it's like now, but back then, Nashville owes Mexicans a lot. I'll tell you that. Oh, they're not going to say
that might be worth seeing.
Yeah, they're not going to say thank you, but they owe them one.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, I remember in Lincoln, there was a huge, I think it was a sanctuary city, Lincoln, Nebraska. We had in the 60s.
Wait a minute. Nebraska had a city that was sanctuary? That blows me away.
Yeah, exactly.
Lincoln, Nebraska, the home of the University of Nebraska, right?
Yes. Yep.
Before you go into your story, answer me this. To tell you that football is fucking crooked, what fucking 18 to 22-year-old kid wants to spend 4 years in Lincoln, Nebraska or Norman, Oklahoma?
Nobody.
Bring me the fucking kid. The top
Especially during the wintertime.
Right. Goddamn wintertime. The top universities on the planet Earth should be the University of Hawaii, Southern California, UCLA, USC, University of Miami, a couple more Florida schools, maybe Jacksonville, maybe a coastal South Carolina school. That's it. That's where all the kids ought to be going. Those ought to be the most powerful football schools in the country. No, right. Norman, Oklahoma, Lincoln, Nebraska, bumfuck Alabama, Tuscaloosa, you got to be.
Yeah,
Tuscaloosa, but they got the number one fucking team every year. What fucking 18 to 22-year-old kid would want to live in any of those three goddamn cities?
Yeah. Well, it's not kids coming. It's not kids coming into Nebraska for the most part. We breed them. These boys are corn-fed Nebraska boys.
We have a California pipeline.
Corn-fed for a reason. A lot of big white boys.
Yep. Yes.
Right off the farm.
A lot of big dumb fuck white boys. Yeah. I was raised in a family. I can speak about that because I was raised in a family with a lot of big dumb fuck white boys. So
I know in the 60s it was Russians, and then in the 70s.
I know goddamn well this is the most entertaining show you've ever done. And
hell yes. Absolutely.
It is.
You promised them it was going to be exciting. I couldn't let you down tonight.
Hey. And you've succeeded. But there's a lot of Vietnamese.
Oh, you're never going to get monetized again, but we've done.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So they're going to penalize you for shows you've already done.
Probably. Let's see, the Vietnamese and the Sudanese population, which the Sudanese was after I left. There was a lot of Vietnamese.
And where was this at?
Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, you were in Lincoln.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
apologies. God damn.
And
You were a hostage. Somebody kidnapped you. You didn't go there of your own accord.
yeah, I was born in Omaha.
You were born in Omaha? Were you really?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I was born in Lexington, Kentucky, and thank God my mother kept me there for 3 days. And then we moved to Tampa, Florida. We didn't know what that was going to become. So 3 days in Lexington, then Tampa. Then I lived in LaGrange. Then I lived in Louisville. Then I lived in Nashville. Then Atlanta. Then back to Louisville, and a little bit of time in Madison, Indiana. Most of those places are racist as shit, other than Louisville.
Wow.
Most of them. So I've had my fair share, and I'm normally. You can't really call me the white sheep of the family. Maybe I'm the black sheep. I don't know. The white ones didn't think too highly of me. Oh, I've blocked and gotten rid of almost every family member I've got. I haven't spoke to my father, my biological father, since 2007. He once called me. He found a picture of me and 2 black girls in a wrestling magazine that was on the shelf in Norfolk, Virginia. He calls me up and he says, Kenny, he says, I found you in a wrestling magazine. And my biological father talks like a Southern general. You would think he was a Sherman of the. Yeah, that's how he talks, and he's from Norfolk. It's not Norfolk, it's Norfolk, and all that. And so he calls me and he tells me, I saw you in this magazine. I said, yeah, and I had not seen the magazine yet. I didn't know which one he was talking about. And he says, yeah, you in there with a. And he didn't call them black girls. I said, really? I said, well, Dad, I said, we don't call them that down here. Well, what do you call them? I said, we call them girls. We call them girls, And I said, so no, we don't do that here. And he said, well, I just want you to know you brought great disgrace to the family. I said, well, I tell you what. I tell you what.
Wow.
I said, I didn't meet you till 1979. That's when I found out you were part of the leader of the KKK. You told me the shit about the Freemasons. I've given you a chance to evolve and hope maybe you ain't that fucking way no more. Obviously, it's not going anywhere. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to solve your problem today. As of today, and whatever date it was in 2007, I said, you can now consider me no longer a part of your family. So now I can't bring disgrace. I'm just some white guy who's in a picture in a magazine with 2 black girls. And you can just say, hey, look at that. Motherfucker standing over those 2 and you can just hate all you want. And I never spoke to my father again.
Wow.
And
really?
I've gotten rid of a lot more than him since then for being racist. Yeah, I can drop him in a heartbeat.
Well,
doesn't matter to me.
Is he still alive?
He unfortunately, well, I don't wish death on anybody, not even people that hate me with a passion. Jimmy Cornette's wished me dead before. I don't wish Jimmy.
I've seen that.
Yeah, he wished me dead so he could kill my son. He didn't want to kill me.
What?
He just wished because my son ratted him out for a lot of shit that people didn't know about.
Oh, yeah.
And he got pissed about it. So, but no, and horrible things that he had said about my son dating a black girl. And we've talked a little bit about it. There's a lot more that could be said. But being as Jimmy was a best friend for 45 years, but we always got on him about the racist shit. And it's like your uncle, for those of you that have racist uncles, maybe nobody in here, but Lord,
I do.
I got a racist uncle.
Lord knows we had
I do.
And because they're family, you try to give them a little bit of slack and not the proper term, but a little bit of rope. And even though now we have people in Tennessee that want to bring back hangings and public executions. I saw that. That sounds great. Hang them from a tree.
About that.
Well, I tell you what, if they ever bring back hanging from a tree, I want somebody to keep some stats on how many white criminals get hung from a tree as to how many black. Keep those numbers. Yep. And I tell you what, that hand is how many white people is going to get it, and they're going to be beheading people. And then you got jaywalkers over here on the other hand. Oh, he's black and he jaywalked, and he should have known better. Get a rope.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
basically,
we cannot go backwards. We cannot.
Well, I tell you what, it's amazing how 30 to 33%, maybe even 41%, if you want to listen to some polls. I remember in 1972, I told my parents, I said, I'm totally convinced that 20% of Americans are stupid fucks that are capable of murder at the drop of a hat. I said that when I was 12. Then I see that 41% of America doesn't think Trump committed a crime. I've also seen as low as 30. So somewhere between 33 and 41% do not think Trump is a racist, and they don't think he's committed any crimes and he's never assaulted any women, even though he told you he did on tape.
Yep.
That he can grab women's pussies and he can get by with it because he's famous. He told you what he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody heard it, but no, he was just talking. It was locker room talk.
It was just locker room.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
never do such a thing like that. So I have upped my evaluation from apparently it's not 20% of the people are a bunch of stupid fucks capable of committing murder at the drop of a hat. It's apparently between 33 and 41%.
Absolutely.
The numbers have gotten worse as people are younger and people like me, you think, okay, this is wrong. We're not going to do this. It is amazing how many people still have the racist tendencies, scared to stand up to their family. It's like believing in God. There's more people that don't than will admit it. I've admitted it since I was about 11 or 12. But Bill Maher had a thing on the other day. He says they've now categorized it in a different way to where they can be a little bit more open as to whether they believe in God or not. And it's now 33% heavily believe, 33% somewhat believe, 33% don't believe at all. And those 33% that don't believe at all either identify as atheist, agnostic, or not religious at all. So I've heard many people tell me I'm not religious at all. And that's just, it's just where I stand. George Carlin made sense to me. When George Carlin would talk, he made sense to me. A lot of the preachers that talked to me, it didn't add up. It just didn't add up. And, he's coming. Okay. We've been around here a long time and he ain't come yet. So, and I'm not trying to make anybody believe what I'm believing. I'm just telling you what works for me. And Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle, who was a dear friend of our family, was very religious and was actually a real, what do you call it? The people that mortician. He was a real life mortician. And when he died, me and my son were both crying. He called me all the time. Jimmy would be pissed because Paul Bearer would call me more than he would call Jimmy. And he loved my son with a passion. So we're driving down the road. We're both crying, and especially my son. And he says, Dad, I hope he's right. I said, right about what? About God. I said, he truly believed, man. I said, he really did. And he says, if any man deserves to meet his maker, if any man had a sweeter heart than Paul Bearer, he said, that's the guy I wanted to happen for. I said, Dad, I hope he's right. I said, well, Chris, I'm going to go along. I hope he is too. I hope he is too. It doesn't change my belief, but for his sake, I hope he's right.
Right.
Yeah.
He truly believed it. He lived what he talked. He lived what he talked.
It's kind of like I was listening to Kevin Nash's podcast and he was talking about his son.
I'd love to get him on.
Yes.
He and I line up pretty good.
Yes, absolutely.
And I've met him a few times. He invited my son to come to Cincinnati, watch Monday Night Raw with him, and always was cool as shit.
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry for what he went through with his son. That's got to be the absolute fucking worst to deal with that. But I'd love to have him on. He would be a great.
That would be a great episode.
And politically, we line up. I had Eric Watts on the other day, former quarterback of Louisville, been in every big company there is wrestling wise. We don't line up politically. We don't line up religiously. He's very religious, very old school wrestling, maybe even more old school than me. Politically, all the people he wanted to interview were people that I want 5 minutes with so they can never breathe again. But we get along so good. We click good. We had a 90-minute conversation on the phone the other day, just talking business and his credit card processing company and everything. Eric Watts is a hell of a guy. Politically, religiously, and maybe somewhat in wrestling, we don't line up. But he's a good guy. Anthony Scaramucci, lifelong Republican. He's never going to change. But I did get him to quit supporting Trump. He worked for Trump the first time he was on my show. The last 8 times he's been on, he did not. So, and we get along great. He's very religious, very Republican. I am neither. We get along great. I consider him one of my better friends. He's a great guy. So, there we go. So I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, that's all right.
Go ahead. You off again, so just be ready.
Hold on.
You want to do one more, then we'll go to the Dear JJ
segment. Today from Amazon. I've been drinking out of these plastic bottles that are not BPA certified, and they're dangerous and they cause cancer. Of course, I've been doing it for fucking 10 years. Got the metal ones today from Amazon. 6 of them for $19. Keeps it ice cold all day long. Best $19 I've ever spent.
Damn. Amazon. That's where I get all my shit. That's where I got that on air sign. Also $20.
We're taught not to bite the Amazon guy. We can't risk that shit. Amazon man alone. And the Walmart man. Leave him alone, too.
Yes.
No kidding.
my saviors. Go ahead.
We better sell a shitload of these books today. I probably screwed you too, and I probably screwed everybody watching the show today. Especially you, Lolo.
All right.
I'll get you too, Coltrane. You ain't safe.
I know.
You know what I tell my dog? I got 2 dogs, and they like to hump each other. The 2 boys. They never hump the girl. 2 boy dogs hump each other all day. You know what I threaten them with?
What's that?
Let me tell you 2 motherfuckers something. You knock off the gay shit, or I'm going to ship you to Florida to Ron DeSantis for de-gayification class. They back down right away. They don't want to go there.
Join Bulbert's husband down there.
The Bert and Ernie of dogs.
Okay.
All right.
Bank robber made deposit in ATM outside. A Delaware man robbed a Wilmington bank, but didn't keep the cash for long. After fleeing the Wells Fargo branch, he paused and made a deposit into the ATM outside.
The same bank.
Mm-hmm.
He just walked outside and put the money in.
Robbed his own bank.
Yeah.
His own damn
Okay.
bank.
And then put it into his account.
Well,
There's no way.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
Poor little Tink Tink.
Yeah,
He's
well.
just stupid.
yeah. He
Yeah.
just stupid. He just stupid.
Yeah. Poor baby.
I think Vanilla Ice had that bit. The guy that used to impersonate Vanilla Ice on In Living Color. Help me out.
Jim Carrey?
Okay.
Jim Carrey. Jim
Yeah.
Carrey. He
He
not
did the best
stupid.
imitation.
He not stupid. He just stupid. That guy was stupid.
That's a show that can never be replicated today.
Oh man.
Oh, that's the best. That was the best.
I loved In Living Color with a passion.
yeah.
I loved it. To me,
Never missed it.
it was better than Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would
I
offend
liked it much better.
everybody.
I
Well,
did.
got her start
I
as
liked
one of
it.
the Fly Girls, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, J-Lo got her start as a fly girl on there, and Jim Carrey was just a funny. Fire
Mhm.
Marshal Bill was one of the greatest
Oh,
characters.
yes.
Yes.
Fire Marshal. Oh, he can do anything. He can do anything.
Well, JJ, we're going to go to you for our Dear JJ segment. These are real Dear Abby questions from across the years.
Did I just
let's
see a
how
sex
you guys
offender look
answer
through her
this.
window? I think I saw something right there.
What's that?
What'd you say?
Did I just see a sex offender peeking through JJ's window? I think
Yeah,
I
you
saw
Don't
Hands
don't
up.
play with me. Don't.
All
You look them
right.
up. They're just trying to take your computer. They don't want you ratting them out.
Let's see.
I already screenshot it, so we're good.
All right.
Damn.
Dear JJ.
I've never looked up sex offenders. I guess that might not be a bad idea.
Well,
Kinda
yeah.
maybe.
And you'll be surprised at how close some are to your house.
Uh-huh.
Scooby's a sex offender. Ask Two Cow. He'll tell you. Two
Had a
Cow
picture
called
in the
police on
paper.
it the other day, yeah. I didn't ask for none of this.
All right. Dear JJ, I'm confused and frustrated. My son is coming home from college and bringing his live-in girlfriend and wants to stay in my home. I've always been against this kind of arrangement. I love my son and the girl is a very nice person, but I can't seem to come to terms with myself accepting this in my home. Am I being an old fuddy-duddy? And how do I tell him if I don't think I can go along with this arrangement? I think it sets a bad example for my young grandchildren who stay with me. Sincerely, Desperate.
Do we know the ages of the people?
College age, I
College age.
suppose.
College age.
Yeah.
College age. With other small children living in the house, no, it's not acceptable. That's not something that you want them to see.
But who's saying they're having sex though?
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're not saying that. We don't even know that. But
Because what if they have an extra bedroom and the young lady stays in the extra bedroom and there's no
that would work.
Okay.
That would absolutely work. But
agree with
those two sleeping in the same bedroom,
Porking and
No.
porking. I made up another one. Like shaking and baking.
Let's see.
I think Dad's just pissed he ain't getting any. I think it's the problem. So.
This one will probably you've probably gone through this here, Kenny, as well. I am in my 70s. My wife and I live in a house across the street from two middle-aged ladies. Recently, some limbs from one of their trees fell into their lawn, so I went into the yard to remove them. Rather than welcoming my help, they were upset that I went into their yard without being invited.
Yard. Go ahead, JJ, and then I have a somewhat similar story, but go ahead.
Oh. Is it asking what you would do about these ladies that were upset?
Or
how do you handle
it? In her yard, neighbor goes over, removes the limbs. Lady's pissed because he was in her yard. Instead of thanking him for removing the limbs.
Well, first of all, I would look up and say, I was just trying to help. But I'd have to walk up like this. I mean, I personally wouldn't do that if I didn't know my neighbor, because you can't just walk into people's lawns and do that. Even if it seems helpful, maybe knock on the door first and say, hey, I'm going to help you out with this, because people are stupid and they judge by, what you look like. So
what city do you live in again, JJ?
I live in Wymore in Nebraska.
Wymore, Nebraska. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. Coltrane, are you still in Nebraska?
No, I'm actually in Phoenix now.
You're in Phoenix, Arizona.
I escaped.
Lolo, and Lolo's in New York. I could see a New Yorker getting hot about that.
I was going to say, I'd say, get off my damn property,
bitch.
See, that's what.
I left that off to be nice. But I'd be like, get the fuck off my property.
I'm not like that. If it was obvious they were trying to help me, I would have to step out and say thank you.
Yeah.
Me too. I'd totally welcome it. But
shit off my
I'm still going to say, get off my damn property, bitch.
Yeah.
Did I ask you for your damn help?
There you go. She's representing. I told you that's what a New Yorker would do, and she's backing me up on it.
Well, that happens when my friend, the guy knocks on the door. Hey, I need help. She's like, get off my damn property.
Yeah, I'm a Southern.
But that's just fucking rude. People should just be nicer. They should just be more nice. They really should.
Not the way we roll here. I mean, we are always suspect. It's like, what you doing here?
The atheist and the Christian think you're a rude New Yorker, so you need to behave.
The rude New Yorker me don't give a shit.
I told you that's how it was going to be. Now, Coltrane, yes. How would you handle this, either in Phoenix or in Nebraska? How would you handle this?
Depends on how they're coming.
I'm in your yard, big white fuck in your yard, picking up tree limbs, obviously moving them out. They're cluttering up the area, and I'm moving your tree limbs. What do you say to me?
Oh, if you're moving the tree limbs, I'm like, thanks, because I wasn't going to do that shit anyway.
That's pretty much me. 63, disabled. I get around, but not well. Yeah. And I ain't going out there and moving them goddamn tree limbs. That's what I got a landlord for.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, my roof leaks. It ain't my problem. It's theirs. Fix the goddamn roof.
Us too. Air conditioning goes out in the middle of the summer. Shit, we'll just.
There you go. That's why I never had a desire to own a home. Because everybody I know never owns it. That's always refinanced, remortgaged, this. Not that it doesn't happen, but I can probably count on two fingers how many people. Hell, my friend Jim Cornette, he doesn't own his own home.
Oh, he does.
The bank does.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But, unless he paid off a whopping amount of money in the last couple of years, I didn't know about. But no, it's and when the air conditioning goes out, he's got to drop $2, $3, $5 grand to fix his air conditioning. If there's a leak in the roof, you got to replace the whole roof. We can't figure out where the leak's coming from. Replace the whole goddamn roof.
Stop! I don't want to hear that shit.
Well, there you go.
It's coming for you.
But but in my defense, I bought a house for $1,000.
Well, you can afford to put a little money in your house.
Yes.
You're dropping $350K on one. Jimmy bought a house in Nashville once. Sorry, Jimmy. Jimmy bought a house in Nashville once and had to spend $7 grand on a new sewage system the week he moved in.
Oh,
what the hell?
They didn't get the sewage system checked out, and I think it was around $7 grand out of his pocket. And this is in the early '90s in Knoxville, and it was like a $260,000 house, nice place. $7 grand. He's paid his down payment. He's moved in. Fucking sewage system fucks up, and he's got to pay $7 grand to get it fixed.
Was it like before? I mean, had
Well,
somebody
I'm
lived there
the problem
before, or
existed
was it?
before. I'm sure the problem existed before, but he had already signed papers, made the down payment, moved in, and now what happens is on you. And there was no
Yeah.
preemptive strike for
As
other
the agent
shows.
ran away laughing.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Stupid fuck. By the way,
That's so fucked up.
no one's going to pick up your tree limbs either, Jimmy. So you're fine.
But feel free to pick up mine should
And he
you
would
come
have,
by.
Daddy, but you pissed him off and threatened to kill him, so he's not going to help you with the tree limbs.
I don't want no help with my damn tree limbs.
Jimmy's new neighbor up here, Lolo, gonna move in next door to Jimmy. They just won't speak to each other.
Oh man.
You stay out of my yard, I'll stay out of yours, you bitch.
Stay out of my fucking yard.
Now, me and Coltrane will be trying to work people to do all our work for us, so we know what we're gonna do.
One more, JJ. All right.
Okay.
Dear JJ, I cannot live with my mother, and I don't want to live with her. She wants her own room in the same house, no duplex. I can't even describe the dread this is causing me. I do not like her. If she were not my mother, I couldn't even be friends with her.
Why is my sister writing you? What's that about?
She's extremely self-centered, controlling, overcritical, and rude with an opinion on everything. She's been married and divorced many times, and she has no friends. She turns every conversation...
Apparently not her daughter.
Yeah, for real. She turns every conversation on any topic back to herself. Mother knows
I do that.
Mother knows that I do not want her to live with us, but she's pushing. She knows I hate it when she drops in on me unannounced early in the morning, but she does it anyway, saying, I know this drives you crazy, but... If my daughter or I plan to meet mother at a restaurant for a noon lunch, she shows up at the house at 10 a.m. to wait for us. When mother eats with us at home every week, she samples the food, makes comments like she's the food critic for the New York Times. I could write pages and pages about her annoying habits. What can I do, JJ? Please help me. Stressed out daughter in Florida. Floridians.
Unfortunately, I can side with her on some of this stuff, but some of it,
my mother
not that extreme.
Yeah.
My mother actually currently has a room in my house dedicated to her.
I thought she was up on the roof fixing the roof is what I did. Come on down, Mom. You got that whole patch.
I look at it like this. If your mother took care of you, there comes a time when you have to take care of your mother. If, in fact, this is his mother and she didn't take care of him, fuck her. She can't come stay with you. She can't come, none of that. Sorry, you're going to have to find your own shit. If she's broke and I got money, I'll help you, but you can't stay here.
Yeah,
so it depends on the relationship.
Not given is what my son has always said. You earn your respect. It just ain't given.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What's that?
I say absolutely agree.
Yeah. I've got a solution to the whole goddamn thing. You invite her over to spend the night, and I've seen this on countless shows. Murder, She Wrote, all the cop shows. Invite her to spend the night, and if you take a pillow and apply the right amount of pressure, you won't get caught. If you use a pillow, you are getting by with murder. I've never seen anybody caught use the pillow. Saw it on Justified the other day. Motherfucker right in the goddamn hospital bed. None of the doctors and nurses had a clue as to what happened. He just quit breathing after Walter Coggins left the room. So. Don't know what happened. Pillow on his face. I guess he sunlight was getting in his eyes, and he just smothered to death on his pillow.
Goodness.
No one ever gets caught that uses a pillow. I don't know why more. We ban guns. Give everybody a goddamn pillow.
Yep.
They're going to sleep eventually. You're going to take a nap eventually. When you do, you're mine, motherfucker. You're mine.
I think Chris Rock had a good idea years ago when he said, go ahead and sell the guns, but make the bullets expensive as hell.
Very well.
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Now, who said that? Who did you say?
I think it was Chris Rock.
I think you're right.
It might have been Chris Rock, but I heard that a while back, and it just made so much fucking sense. All right, you won't ban the guns, motherfucker. We'll ban the bullets.
Right.
Ban it. Not only make them expensive as shit, ban the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You want 100 rounds to go out and shoot a fucking deer? All right, what's going to cost you? $75 a pop. But no, I say just ban the bullets.
Yep.
Now,
That's
yeah,
true.
there's going to be some I've watched The Walking Dead. I know that you can make 4 bullets a day if you try hard. I've seen it. I saw Eugene do it. But y'all watch Walking Dead. Eugene can make some goddamn bullets. It's only 4 a day, but he can make some.
Hey,
4 shots he didn't have yesterday.
exactly. I was about to say 4 bullets you didn't have before.
That's 4 zombies that better watch what the fuck they're doing. Is all I can tell you.
You better be a crack shot too. That'd be my ass. Shoot right past.
That's where you hang around with Raylan Givens from Justified. He's a crack shot. He don't miss. So you hang around with Raylan. Give him your bullets. You don't be missing yourself. Raylan will get them.
There you go.
100 yards in, that zombie's fucked every time. Or be like me, smother that fucking zombie.
Zombies sleep too, I think.
Well, if you smother them, they do. A zombie under a tree napping, fuck, pillow his ass.
Well, I tell you what, guys, we're about at the end of this program.
This goddamn show will be over when I say it is. You made me wait 97 minutes. I'm never going to say a goddamn word. We're going till 9, motherfuckers.
Well, let's go. Shit.
It's 7:30. I've bored you people enough.
Oh no, you've actually
You've actually entertained a lot.
My shows. I'm apologizing for doing such a good show over here because my show sucks. I wish I'd done that.
No, actually, I really love your show. It's
we try to have a good time.
Whenever I catch it, anyway.
I always like doing other people's shows because the heat's off.
Right.
The heat's off. You know, just whatever happens. I always try to be their number one guest, though.
Yeah.
What type of views do you average over here on your YouTube show?
Not much right now, about 120.
You all care. You got introductions and countdown clocks and fucking opening credits and shit. We just open up. Hey, motherfuckers, we're here.
We're still relatively new.
We got nothing.
Yeah. We're relatively new, so we got started not that long ago. So
I'll help promote your show.
Still getting comfortable.
Really
Still,
I'll help promote it. I like what you guys are doing. This is a good thing you got going over here.
Matter of fact, go ahead and promote your show right now. Where can we find you?
I'm on every Tuesday night, Thursday night at 9:05 p.m. As a rule, occasionally we go on a little early. Occasionally we even do Saturday night shows. Well, that's fucked tonight thanks to this show. But it's at youtube.com, youtube.com, The Bolin Alley. And you can also find it under, because we also do the Starmaker Bolin show, but that is youtube.com/@Starmaker Bolin. Don't know why you got to have an @ sign, but you're
mine
not
too.
That's yours too.
I don't know what that's
now,
about.
The Bolin Alley does not have the @ sign. It's youtube.com/The Bolin Alley. But for the Starmaker Bolin show, but you find them in the same place, so it's not that big a deal. It's just so many people knew me as Starmaker Bolin and maybe wondered what the Bolin Alley was. We figured we'd make a Starmaker Bolin show that was less political, but we get our shit in. Yeah. And if I'm doing the Bolin Alley, you know the fucking shit's coming. Some goddamn Republicans getting shit talked on that night if it's the Bolin Alley. So that way they know ahead of time.
Ladies, it is entertaining, so definitely check them out. All you out there, check them out too.
Yeah, ladies. Yeah, bring your own condoms because I'm going to leave them on the street.
JJ, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, JJ Jackson.
On the roof with her mother.
You can
see, roof fell over.
Sorry, that was my phone was ringing.
What's your mother up on the roof wanting to come down?
And I think you can find me on Instagram. You're throwing me off, man.
Pardon me. You
Jay, Instagram.
Probably stolen by now.
It's J_baby85. And on the whisper thing, just
you mean wisdom?
JJ Jackson. Wisdom.
Yeah,
wisdom.
Don't look for her whisper.
I've learned something today. I didn't know there was a whisper or a wisdom. So I've learned something today.
Oh, I like the wisdom app. You'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah,
like
I do. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Basically, it's people post questions, you answer with your voice. It's
do they let white people over there?
I think so.
Yes, they do.
Make me an honorary black guy today, so I can just go anywhere.
You're in there, Poopy.
All right, all right.
Shelly.
Yes, Shelly, where are you?
Caught you off guard, didn't it?
Got that little hidden background over there, like we don't know where you are.
Blending in like a ninja.
Consider This Hit can be found at considerthis_hit on Instagram. Jaded Zen Entertainment is on both Instagram and Facebook. Consider This Hit is also on Facebook, but it's spelled as you say it.
We got to work on Shelly's microphone. She's got too much good shit to say, and everybody else seems to be sounding pretty good. We got to work on Shelly's microphone.
Yep.
She's just very soft spoken.
Yeah.
She's very soft
Speak
spoken.
the fuck up, goddamn it! Speak. You're in the goddamn podcast business. You're not on Whisper like Princess. Princess gave me an opening there. I like that. Not on Whisper. You're on Big Mouth.
And you can catch me on Facebook.
Who gives a shit?
Jason Coltrane. And Instagram, brother_Coltrane. And from there, you can find all my other shit. It's pretty easy. YouTube.com/@JadedZen. Got that damn ad as well. Next week, I don't know what we'll talk about. Lolo, I'm sorry. Just left the New Yorker out of there. Over there.
Yeah, she's cleaning up condoms as we speak.
Let's stick with the.
I'm looking for the motherfuckers who threw them out their fucking windows. What I'm doing.
You might not be happy with what you find. Some big dick motherfucker out there throwing condoms around.
You can find me on Instagram. Hello,
Lois. It
Lois.
won't be me. I won't be that guy. I'll be a little dick motherfucker throwing condoms around.
How about that? I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
I figured. For those that want to keep up with my charity and everything, for those that want to donate to Feed the Filipinos, we do. That's what my show is dedicated for, is feeding desperate Filipino families in need. Kenny Bolin at MSN.com is not only my PayPal, but my Zelle. And you can find me on all my social media. If you type in Starmaker Bolin, you will find me either on Instagram, Twitter is at Starmaker Bolin, and Facebook is /Starmaker Bolin. So I just wanted to get that shit in. That if you want to find me, that's how you do it, because this will be a whole new audience over here. So that's how you find me. Back to Lolo.
Where can we find you?
You can find me not really too many places. I'm on Instagram, COLONLOIS, my name backwards, Cologne Lois. I'm on Wisdom as Crazy Low.
No
and that's
shit.
It. That's it for now. I'm a little out of my mind, baby. A little out of my mind.
Little bit?
I'm a little out of my fucking mind.
You opened the show bitching about condoms on the street. A little bit?
Do you still do the ice cream thing, Kenny?
Ice cream for the Philippines? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Ice cream for the Philippines. A school teacher named Ice Cream Jennifer, we named her, got me doing that because a bunch of kids gathered around an ice cream truck, and only like 2 kids had ice cream cones out of like 20. Wow. So we ended up buying all the kids ice cream because they were like 20 pesos.
Aww.
Yeah, you could buy like 3 ice cream cones for $1, something like that. So now, occasionally, we will get with schools or daycares and things like that, and or in neighborhoods, and we'll buy ice cream for every kid in the neighborhood. We'll make arrangements with an ice cream truck, give us an idea of how many kids are in the neighborhood, and if a few adults show up, we buy them ice cream too. And it's 50 pesos is $1, and sometimes you can get these ice cream cones. We'll get a good rate, 10 to 20 pesos per cone. And kids rarely get ice cream there. It's a real luxury for them to get that. And the ice cream driver appreciates it too. But the other thing we do is we buy bags of rice for family. I just did this for a family in Manila last night. They had a typhoon just destroyed their home. They sent me the video of it, and the roof is fucked up. And they hadn't eaten in like 3 days. The storm ruined all their food. So we got them a 70-kilogram bag of rice. That is about 140 pounds. And that was to feed her and her neighbors for the next 30 days.
Fantastic. I love that.
And it cost us like $70.
I love that.
Can't beat that. And we've been doing that for about the last 4 years now. And my show is dedicated to feeding these Filipino families because their government don't do it. Kenny, why don't you help Americans? Well, Americans can get help. Right. We all can. If we're desperate, somebody will step up and help us. Nobody over there does. And even your fucking neighbors will try and keep you down over there because if they're lucky enough to have something, they try to make sure you don't. Not all the communities are like that. But so we have probably fed, I think we fed over 2,000 kids ice cream cones now, and we have fed over 800 families in the last 4 years.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Some of them repeatedly. So the PayPal is kennybolin@msn.com. Just tell me in the comments where you want that money to go. If you watch the show and you have a specific family you want to help, or you want to help somebody get a mattress, you want to help somebody get a bag of rice, you want to help them get eggs, peanut butter, whatever. They appreciate every fucking thing they get. And this girl wrote me at 2:00 in the morning last night. I had her turn on her camera. They don't get much data over there for video, but she was on long enough. I could see the damage it was done to the house. She looked like shit. She hadn't eaten in 3 or 4 days other than just some watery soup or something that just had no base to it whatsoever. And so we sent them roughly about $70 that will not only feed her and her family, but her neighbor's family as well, who's going through the same shit. It's not a lot of variety, but at least it's solid food on the table every day.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's
awesome. I appreciate that. Well, that's my passion. That's what my show is for. People
the hell out of that.
Tune in. It's all about the money with you, Bolin. If we don't donate, you're mean to us. I said, yeah, because you got $5 fucking. Donate if you got $5, $2, whatever it is. It all adds up. And people will watch my show. I said, if all of you donated $1, we can feed a shitload of fucking people, but you don't. There's 20 of us that donate every week, 20 of us, and then the other 980 of you don't do shit. And if you just donated $1, if this show ain't worth $1, don't watch it. I would say the same thing about yours.
Right.
You know, if you got a charity or something you want to raise money for, if you ain't getting $1 worth of entertainment out of it, why are you watching?
Exactly.
Well, you got $1, I got bills.
Great point.
Yeah, you got a roof, you got a floor, you got a refrigerator, you got electric, then you got more than they got.
Exactly.
So, people out a little bit. So it's my passion. It really is.
Well, we'll promote the hell out of that.
Thank you much, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Well, hey, Kenny, we appreciate your time.
Lolo and I have crashed since we got here about the condom shit and the dirty neighborhood. We found some common ground. Feed the Filipinos.
Oh, I'm all about feeding hungry people.
Yeah.
I hate hunger.
There's a bridge down here about 2 miles from me, 1.8 miles to be exact. And the homeless gather there. And we get so fucking pissed because they're doing the same thing on Bardstown Road. They now have groups of people here to move and displace the homeless. We don't care where you go. Just don't be in plain sight. Yeah. We don't want to see you.
Aww.
And so we saw these people and they confronted me and Chris one day because we were feeding them. And Chris turned to me and says, let me tell you, motherfucker, something. I like these homeless people a lot fucking better than I like you.
Oh, yeah.
So you get the fuck away. They need food. You have food. You have a job. You're being paid to run off these people that have no fucking money and no fucking food. Fuck right. You. Get out of our. And Christopher's more confrontational than I am. I just back him up. Yeah. So, but no, they're all wearing yellow vests, and their job is to move the homeless people, get them out of sight, get them out of the way, and they will try to arrest you if you show up with a shitload of food, which we do. They haven't tried to arrest me yet, but I've seen them do it. And we get McDonald's to work with us up here, and they give us half price on everything we get so we can go down and feed the homeless. And we'll show up with 100 hamburgers. And, you know, if there's 50 of them, we make sure everybody gets a couple of hamburgers. They give us free bottled water to give out to them. Because during COVID, there wasn't any places they could go and get water.
Right.
You know, you couldn't go anywhere. So bottled water was a huge help, too. We finally got a comment in here. Catherine, I don't know who's funny. I bet it's JJ. Trying to get her mother off that roof. That was now Coltrane, when the show goes off, does the on-air song go black? Does it go dark?
Yes.
Cool. I'm hanging around for that. I want one of them.
Well, hey, we really appreciate your time.
Well, you better after wasting 90 minutes of my day.
Yeah.
You better appreciate me.
But we made it entertaining and worthwhile.
Now, is this show going to be available right after the show?
Probably tonight.
Tonight? Yeah, let me know when it's available, and I'll get it out to my people. I'll put out the good word for you, man. I like your show. I'll come on anytime.
I appreciate that.
Well, Thank you. The right amount of money and the right amount of condoms. Oh, okay.
Right, bring your own condoms and keep them off the fucking street.
All right, deal. I didn't know he was going to bitch about it, but all right.
Of course, I'm going to bitch about it.
Of course, you're a crazy lady that's on wisdom for crying out loud.
Or whisper.
I wish you'd go to whisper.
I don't whisper.
Whichever.
Whisper. Wisdom gets pretty loud.
All right, Kenny. Well, let's do it again sometime.
We will.
And,
You can say the word, man, and don't make me
absolutely.
wait 90 goddamn minutes on
Yeah.
Podbean, and I'll do it.
I know the technology now. All right. Well, we appreciate you. Take care down there, and we'll definitely get the word out for your charities.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'll have you on my show sometime, and we'll help promote you. Fuck Lolo, I ain't having her on. She'll take over.
Oh, yeah.
And if
I love
JJ's
that.
done,
I'm going to do my own damn show, bitch.
if JJ's done making her mother patch that hole in the roof, me and Shelly will use the same screensaver background, and we'll look like we're in the same living room.
Yep. I'm in the basement by myself.
There you go. Where you should be, where you don't need to harm anybody.
All right, for Kenny, for JJ, for Lois, Shell, this is Coltrane saying thank you for joining us, and we'll talk about some other shit next week. Take care.
Bye-bye, guys.